Welcome, geometry students, to class today on this Thursday, the 6th, excuse me. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're ready to learn some math today. I am ready to teach. I love this stuff. We're going to have a quiz tomorrow, okay? A quiz tomorrow, so just in a couple minutes we will go over what will be on that quiz. Please be ready for the quiz, please. Turn in yesterday's homework. Yesterday you had homework on angles inside and outside polygons. Remember the formula? 180 times n minus 2, n being the number of sides of a convex polygon. That gives you the sum of all of the interior angles, and then the exterior, the sum of all the exterior angles of a polygon, I don't care what kind of polygon it is 360 degrees. So you had a homework assignment on this stuff, and it's due today. Now, I did not make it to Berean yesterday, so some of you might have turned it in yesterday, and if so, that's fine. I did not pick up Michael. He went over to a friend's house yesterday after school, so I did not go to Berean. Now, so if you turned this in already yesterday, then don't worry, it's in my box, and if you didn't, please turn it in. By the way, this was a Wednesday assignment, so you did not have to finish it. So whatever you did, you'll get 100. So turn it in. All right. And then I'm not sure who owes what. Isn't that kind of funny? Because again, I wasn't at Berean yesterday, and so I don't know who turned what in. Okay. So I'm going to announce what it was like the other day. Okay. And by the way, I just found out about Jasa. Thanks to you first hour students, Zoo, Jake, and Martin, for telling me. I'm just teasing you guys, but I had no idea she had a concussion. So I didn't know she'd been in school. I emailed her parents and found out she was absent. And then, as Haley knows, I emailed her parents and she had been absent. So, I mean, I'm making all kinds of mistakes. I've been trying to get homework from students who aren't even there. So kind of embarrassing and I guess a little humorous, but not really. So I hopefully will get all this squared away. But based on a couple days ago, I know Jasa owed me some things, but she won't be there probably all week. I talked to her mom. Haley, I know you owed me let's see, 8.1 and 8.2, I believe it was. And then we watched you watched 8.3 yesterday. So anyways, just keep track of all that, Haley, and you probably turned some of it in. I've not been to Berean, so we're good on all. I'll do some check-in today when I get the homework, and on Friday I'll give you an update. But that's that. Well, hopefully we'll have a test next week. Lord willing, we'll have a test next week, so we will try to do that. And that's basically it. Let's go ahead and take a minute. Today's lesson's pretty easy. Let's pause first, though, and let's go over the information for the quiz tomorrow, okay? That's the first thing we need to do, okay? So write down whatever you feel like you need to write down. Let's start off with a quick review on lesson 8.1. So here's the notes we have for 8.1. I'm probably going to draw some pictures and say, hey, is this a convex polygon or a concave polygon? So be able to answer questions like that. Remember, I go fast on videos. You pause the video and write down what you need to. So I'll ask that question. I'm not going to put any fill in the blanks on the quiz. Now that's unusual for me, but I'm not going to do that, okay? So this definition here that you see, that's definitely something you'll need to know for the test when the test rolls around, but I'm not going to put any fill in the blanks on the test, or on the quiz, excuse me. But you still need to know an equilateral polygon, all the sides are congruent. Equiangular, all the angles are congruent. A regular polygon is when both the sides and the angles are congruent. But I'm not going to give you any fill in the blanks on the quiz. Now, I will ask you to tell me, is that object equilateral, equiangular, regular? So know how to do that. That's totally a good question. If I give you an equiangular object like this one right here, and I tell you to solve for x, you should be able to do a problem like that, because we know all of the angles are equal, so we should, sorry about that, not sure what just happened there. Let's click on that. Hopefully it won't happen again. All right, moving on. So you should know that 2x minus 6 equals 110, and then solve that. And then that was it for lesson 8.1. So any of those types of problems are fair game. Let's take a look at 8.2. All right, 8.2. Here we go. Angles of polygons. I'm not going to give that to you, fill in the blank. I'm not going to do it, but I will ask you to find the sum of the measures of the interior angles of different polygons. And that's where you use the formula 180 parentheses n minus 2. So please be able to do that. I might give you problems like this and ask you to find the one missing angle. So you would first have to find the sum of all those angles and then find that missing angle. I very well might ask you to find one angle. If it's an equiangular object, that means all of the angles are congruent. I could ask you to find the measure of one angle. You would first find the sum of all of these angles and then divide by how many angles you have. In this case, you would find the sum of all eight angles, and then you would obviously divide by 8 because you have 8 angles. Please study and review all of these types of problems. It would be totally consistent for me to give you a problem like this, remember, with exterior angles. And remember, the sum of the measures of the exterior angles of any convex polygon is always 360. Okay, so find the value of x, a problem like that. Or I might have you find the sum of all the exterior angles, which is always going to be 360. So all of those are fair game. And then, of course, lesson 8.3 is what we covered yesterday. And let's take a quick gander, a quick look at this. Areas of squares in a rectangle. This was really hard stuff. I'm kidding. But if I give you a square or a rectangle, I need you to be able to find the area. What if I give you the area and I want you to find one of the sides of a rectangle or a square for that matter? Be able to do that. And then I will give you one of these for sure on your quiz where you have to divide it up into sections and then find the area for each section and then add all of those up and find the total area. Okay, so there you go. That's what's going to be on the quiz. Now, one more thing, okay? Today's information is also on the quiz. That's not fair, Mr. Hart. Well, sure it is. But remember, you have a homework video you can watch tonight that will help you find your mistakes on your homework. So if you have any questions on your homework, that's what the homework help video is for. And so whatever I teach you today will be on the quiz. Are you ready to roll? I hope so. Grab your books, pens, pencils, calculators, notebooks, whatever you need, and let's get started. We are going to continue our study of easy areas today. I hope that the homework went well yesterday without a homework help video. Now, I usually don't do that to you, but I did it to last year's class and I did it to you guys this year. I think that was really amazingly easy homework except for the last 4, and of course I did those for you at the end of the video if you need help on those. We will be getting into some more challenging material before the chapter is over. So if you're getting bored, which you're probably not, you're probably enjoying the easy stuff, but if you're getting bored, just wait. We will cover some more challenging stuff before the chapter is over. Please copy this in your notes. We're going to look today at areas of triangles. Areas of triangles. The date today is the 6th, if you want to keep track of that, and I encourage you to do that. February 6th, 2014. Lesson 8.4, Areas of Triangles. Let's start off by Now, let me pause. Remember, I go fast. You pause the video when you need to. Let's start off by writing down the formula needed to find the area of a triangle. So please write this formula down. This is how you find the area of a triangle. 1/2 base times height. 1/2 base times height. Another way that some students do it, and this is totally acceptable, is they take base times height, and then whatever they get, they divide by 2. That is the exact same formula, because when you multiply by 1/2, that's the same thing as dividing by 2. So either way is fine, okay? I don't care which formula you use. I'm probably going to stick to this formula right over here. 1/2 times base times height. Now, notice that we need items in order to use this formula to find the area of a triangle. And what 2 items do we need? Well, we have a B right here, so we have to have the base of the triangle to be able to find the area. We have an H right here, right? So we have to find the height of we have to know the height of the triangle in order to find the area, okay? So in order to use this formula, we need 2 things. two items. You must always know the base, and you must always know the height. Now when you get into higher level math, there are other ways to find areas of triangles using matrices and using law of sines, but for now this is sufficient. Okay, out of those two needs, and what are those two needs again? The base and the height. Out of those two needs, the height is usually the most difficult. The base is easy. I mean, if you got a triangle that looks like this, the base is going to be this bottom line that the triangle is resting on, okay? If the triangle happens to be turned a little bit like this, you can just turn it back and there's your base, okay? But the height is usually the most difficult thing to find. So let's look at some examples of bases and heights of triangles so that you're familiar with finding bases and heights. Let me get a drink here real quick, and we'll continue on. Okay, here's a triangle. I'd like you to draw that in your notes if you would, please. This right here is your base. This side right here is your base. And now, which one of these two lines is the height? Is this the height, or is this the height? Well, it would be this line right here, because the true definition of the height of a triangle is the line that's going straight up and down perpendicular to the base. Let me say that again. The height is the side of the triangle that is perpendicular to the base. And actually, I shouldn't have said side of the triangle, because sometimes it's not a side of a triangle. And we'll look at an example like that in just a second right here on this one, okay? But anyways, back to this example. So the height is the distance from the base to the top of the triangle, and it has to form a right angle with the base. So here's the base, here's the height. Let's try another one. Copy this in your notes. All right. Now, obviously, the length from this red dot all the way to this red dot would be your base. So there's your base. Now, this side of the triangle here is not your height. It does not form a right angle with the base. This side of the triangle right here is not your height. It does not form a right angle with the base. But this line right here goes all the way to the top of the triangle, and it comes down in such a way that it forms a right angle with the base. This line right here, my math scholars, would be the height of the triangle. This red line right here. Are you seeing it okay? The height of a triangle has to go from the top of the triangle down to the base, and it has to be perpendicular to the base. Just like this side over here, it went from, or this line here went from the top of the triangle all the way down to the base, and it was perpendicular. It formed a right angle. All right, how about this one? Well, students, this one's not going to be very easy. I mean, we're going to have to grab it here, and we're going to have to turn this thing, okay? We got to turn this thing around there. And now that I've turned it around, this side right here, this red squiggly line, that's going to be my base. And this dotted line coming down, because that's the line that goes from the top of the triangle down to the base and forms a right angle, that is going to be my height. And now, I don't care which way you turn this triangle, the base and the height are going to stay the same, okay? This side right here is still your base, and this side right here is still your height. And by the way, a lot of students look at this triangle right here. Now watch this, and they say, "Oh, Mr. Earhart, what if you flip the triangle this way, and now this is your base, and that's your height?" You're right, it would be. And guess what? It won't change your answer one bit. It won't change your answer one bit. Okay? All right, so this is your base, and this is your height. Let's try another one. Okay, this is a little tricky here. Copy this in your notes, please. This is obviously my base right here. Okay, so there's my base. But I don't see any line that starts at the top and comes straight down to the base. Okay, fair enough. It's going to be a height right here. We start at the top, and we're going to draw a line going straight down. Now I know the base does not come all the way out, okay? But if we could draw an imaginary line coming out, so that we have an imaginary right angle. All right, then this line right here, that length right there is, I'm going to put the letter H, is definitely going to be your height. This dotted line, this imaginary line, is your height. Do you know why? Because it starts at the top of the triangle and it goes straight down to the base in such a way that it forms a right angle. Now I know the base didn't come all the way out to here, but I'm saying if you stretch the base out, you would have a right angle. So there's the base and there's the height. I hope you're seeing this okay. Let me get a drink of water while you write down one more example. Copy that down, please. Okay, this one here is going to be very similar to this problem right here. I mean, all that you're going to do is just turn the triangle. And I don't care which way you turn it, by the way. Let me do this. Let me do that, and then slide this triangle over here and pull this one over here. Cool. Cool beans, as my wife says. All right, now, I don't care if you turn the triangle, watch, to, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. No siree. I don't care if you turn the triangle to the left so that this is your base right here and this is your height right here, base, height. Or if you took that same triangle, and I don't care if you turned it this way, like this, doesn't matter to me. This here would then be your base and this would be your height. You'll still get the same answer. Trust me, you will still get the same answer. Oh, I said that wrong, didn't I? I apologize, guys. So sorry. There we go. And there we go. There's part of my H. And there's who knows what. And there's the other part of my H. And the other part. H is having a bad day. All right, there we go. So there's my base and there's my height. So you must be able to identify the base or the height, or you'll never be able to find the area of these triangles in your lesson today. Okay, having said that, I'm going to go pretty fast now, okay? So here we go. We're going to use our books a lot today with our notes, so go ahead and get them out. No, I'm going to move on the video. If you got to pause the video, that's fine. We're going to use your books a lot, so please get your books out. Let's take a look at page 430, example number 1. Page 432, example number 1. They give us a triangle that looks like this. And I'm just going to kind of, draw it remotely accurate. It's not, doesn't have to be perfect. All right, here we go. And let's get our right angle here. And then we have a measurement of 10 centimeters here and 6 here. Okay, the directions say find the area. Okay, no problem. Find the area. Area of a triangle equals 1/2 times the base times the height. Well, students, this is the base right here. Put the letter B right here beneath it. And this is my height. How do I know that? Because it's a line that goes from the top of the triangle down to the base so that it's perpendicular. So this number right here would be my height. All right, so to find the area of the triangle, it's 1/2 times my base, which is 10, times my height, which is 6. You can use a calculator if you want to, no problem with that. 1/2 times 10 times 6 would give you 30. Now we're dealing with area, so learn to label your answers correctly. Centimeters squared, 30 centimeters squared. Pretty simple. Let's go on to the next one. Page 432, number 2. Page 432, number 2. Okay, the triangle looks something like this. Of course, I'm just drawing it kind of freehand with a little bit of help here from the computer. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and put the numbers in that they have there. We have this is a length of 8. And this would be a length of 5. And the directions say find the area. Okay, we should know our formula. Area of a triangle is 1/2 times the base times the height. Now, here's the base, 8, and this is not the height right here. That's not the height. That line does not form a right angle with the base. This line here is not the height. It does not form a right angle with the horizontal line. But, however, this line right here is the height. Notice it runs from the top of the triangle down to the horizontal line here in such a way that it forms a right angle. So, it looks like I would have 1/2 times my base, which is 8, times my height, which is 5. And if we multiply those three together, and feel free to use a calculator if you want to, you're going to get 20 feet squared, or 20 square feet, however you want to put it. All right, always learn to label your answers correctly. Let's take a look at 432, number 3. Now here, this is interesting, they want us to find the height. They give us the area. They totally give us the area. So let's see, the problem, or the triangle, looks something like this. And then it has a line coming down like this, and I believe they're calling that a right angle. All right, and let's see, this is my H right here, and this is my 13, a length of 13, and they already told us. Did you look at the directions yet? The directions give us the area, and the area is 39 square inches. 39 square inches. So we're going to have to find height. That's what the direction says to do. The directions say to find the height of this triangle. So I'm going to turn it just a tad so that it's going straight across. There, that makes it a lot easier, doesn't it? So you should be able to see now that 13 is my base and H is my height. So let's just fill in everything into our formula. Area of a triangle equals 1/2 base times height. Now, we're trying to find the height. That's what the directions say to do. Find the height of the triangle given that the area is 39. So for area A, I'm going to put what? 39. For 1/2, I'm going to put what? Well, 1/2. For B, I'm going to put what? Well, 13. And then for H, I'm just going to leave it H. Now, let me get a quick drink here. Ever since I've had 3 of you students, Azu, Jason, and Jake, 2 years ago, we spent a lot of time in bridge math making sure you could really solve linear equations. And what I always stressed to you was this. Step 1, simplify both sides as far as possible. Step 2, get all of your coefficient, get all of your variable terms on one side and your constant terms on the other side. And then simplify again, and then divide by the coefficient. So we're going to use those steps. Let's simplify both sides as far as we can. Well, there's no way you can simplify 39. How do you simplify 39? But 1/2 times 13 times H, we can simplify that. 1/2 times 13 would be 6.5 H. Use your calculator if you want to. 1/2 times 13 is 6.5 H. Now I've simplified both sides. The only thing left to do, I've got all my constant terms on one side, my variable terms on the other. The only thing left for me to do is to divide both sides by 6.5. And when I do that, notice on the right side my 6.5s will cancel out, leaving me with H, and 39 divided by 6.5 is going to give you 6. 39 divided by 6.5 is going to give you 6. So in this problem, even though we weren't finding the area, they gave us the area, we still use this formula right here to help us find the height. We could have used this formula to help us find the base. It can be used many ways, okay, or for many things. Let's take a look at one more problem. I'm going to give your homework to you. So I told you, pretty short lesson today, pretty easy. Let's look at page 433. This is a typo here, so fix that. This is page 433. So turn in your books to page 433, one page over, and let's look at the top of the page, number 3. Top of the page, number 3. The triangle looks something like this. I'm not going to try to get the Art of the Year award or Artist of the Year award, but there we go. And let's see what we have here. We have a length of 15 right here for this bottom side. And then it looks like they give us an imaginary dotted line coming straight down. And then a line coming out here like this. And it forms a right angle. And the height of that dotted line going up and down, or the height, is 16. Now, we're going to find the area of this triangle highlighted in green. That's the triangle right there we're going to find the area of. Please don't think, students, that we have another triangle over here, like right here. This dotted line is an imaginary line. It's just a measurement. It's just giving us the height. You see, the height of this triangle is 16. Even though this line right here is not inside the triangle, it still goes from the top of the triangle all the way down to the horizontal line coming out in such a way that it forms a right angle. It's perpendicular. So 16 is the height of the triangle. So in number 3, it says find the area of the triangle. That's the directions. So area equals 1/2 base times height. So the area would equal 1/2 times the base, which is 15, times the height, which is 16. All right, and you should get 120 if you multiply those together correctly. 120 centimeters cubed, or squared, excuse me. 120 centimeters squared. Okay, and that's it. I need you to work on your homework. I need you to work really hard on your homework. And if you have any questions, use the homework help video. I want to start becoming more adamant about something. This homework, if you're just turning on the video and watching it and doing the homework with it, you are hurting yourself. You are hurting yourself. Guys, the idea of homework is to sit down with this, listen to me, with your book, your paper, your notes, a pencil, a calculator, and you get to work. And I've told you before, you don't do all the problems and then check them in the back of the book. You do a problem and you have the back of your book marked. You do number 5, check it in the back of the book. Do number 6, and you really can't check it, so don't check it. Do number 7, check it in the back of the book. And then go all the way through, excuse me, so I go all the way through, and you do all the problems that you can do. And you check them in the back of the book. What about the even ones? You then use the video to help you check your even ones. And any problems that you get stuck on, oh, I'm stuck on number 23. That's when you turn the video on and you watch how to do number 23. Think about when you had a real math teacher, a real live person like me 2 years ago, or Miss Walker last year. Well, you did your homework at home and you came in the next day, and what did you do? You asked questions. Well, I'm not there to answer your questions, so you have to do the homework and then watch the video when you're done. You really shouldn't just play the video. Now, if you do, you're not cheating. There's nothing wrong with that. You're allowed to, but I think you're really hurting yourself. That's my opinion. Okay, go ahead and get started on your homework until the bell rings, please. I hope you'll have a good day today, and I will speak to you guys tomorrow. Don't forget to study for your quiz tonight, please. That's really important. And remember, you get 5 bonus points on your quizzes if you're caught up on all your homework. That's always been the rule. If you're caught up on all your homework on the day of the quiz, you do get 5 bonus points on your quiz, so keep that in mind. All right, call or email if you have any questions.